Here to talk to you with Ed Ruff from Ruff Marine. He's going to go ahead and tell you about the Arid Bilge System and the wide application that he's installs these Arid Bilge System units from residential, commercial, to luxury marine industry to commercial marine industry. These are more for the bigger boats. Normally you would get on a boat and you would have the bow and stern thruster installation. This unit will accommodate all your other zones, and with this we also have the hour meters, and easier for you to go and keep track of like oddities on the boat.
But the hour meters are nice too, because Mr. Customer can go to whatever hour meter here and sees a high number in the hour meter. That's an indication with our device here, there's a fault and failure that they need to look at, because these hour meters are running longer than the other hour meters. So we have a broken hose, we have a faulty pipe, we have some type of leak that this device here is picking up. The nice thing with the product is I put stuff in all the applications that we apply this product in. We don't have complaints with failure of the product because the way that the manufacturer is building the product. With the hour meters, the pumps, the stainless steel components inside, they're using marine grade tin wire, and other companies you don't see the quality of all the components in the product. And that's what you see, a higher failure rate versus the Arid Bilge System for the applications that we're using it in. With the hour meters here, we're seeing air conditioned system that they haven't used in a while, and then they turn the unit on and the pan overflows. So that zone's gonna be pumping more than the other zones. So this zone here is starting to be active and running more in the system. So we're starting to see this as a protection device within the boat and the applications that we're putting the high quality system equipment on as a helper for ourselves and the people in the field after the device is already installed, to help out to tell us that there's a problem that's addressing why these hour meters are running more than the other ones.
Goes up to 100 feet in distance, and instead of having multiple units from multiple zones, we're going to have just one centralized system for all those individual zones. You got your bow thruster all the way up forward, and then you got your stern thruster all the way in the aft of the boat. The system will go ahead and be installed inside of the aft of the boat, somewhere in the engine room, for example. Or this tube and it spiders throughout the whole vessel, comes back to one central location, and then we discharge into one central location. So again, instead of having just multiple pumps from all these individual zones, you just have one system for one location, and it's super easy to install as well.
There's stuff that you want to route the hoses properly and zip tie them in place properly. You want clean flow of the hoses. Same thing for the overboard discharge. You want to use the proper wire size and a fuse 18 inches apart for the power source.
And there's a big difference between Series 2 units and Series 4 units. Ed would be selling a lot of those for center consoles normally, is what a Series 2 model would be. And normally a center console requires 2 or up to 3 zones. It's actually recommended that you have a pickup for every individual location where a bilge pump is. In order to go and have a longer lasting boating experience, you want to have a dry boating experience. Arid Bilge System delivers that clean and fresh boating experience the first time and every single time, just like it came from the shop.
We install the product. We started in the marine industry to keep the thrusters that are in the stern of the boat and the bow of the boat dry at all times, from bilge water, rainwater, wash water, as well as we've been using the Arid Bilge Systems in the military applications for Coast Guard and Customs, where they have computers and electrical devices that run the boats, and for security, safety features, dry at all times.
So Ed, normally the Arid Bilge System, it lasts 5 to 10 years plus without having any service, having any minimum service done on it. Your bow thruster and your stern thruster, these gyro stabilizers, they're really durable and they're really high quality product, but normally they would go bad just because of that bilge water. Just getting rid of that bilge water, it would go and extend the lifespan of all the components.
So we've been using the Arid Bilge System product because of the longevity of the product and because of the harsh conditions of these motors and electric wires and computers that are in these government vessels and private owned vessels. The Arid Bilge System, because of their lifespan, helps us with our customers staying out on the water longer, using their thrusters and stabilizers and electronics in their boat, where they're more reliable and safe for the operation of the customer using the vessel.
Yeah, because bilge pumps, they would normally go bad after a period of time. The bilge pump, they would normally like sit underwater, but
doesn't pick up.
Yeah.
The bilge pump always leaves water in your boat. A bilge pump sits in 2 to 3 inches of water until the float opens up or energizes to let the pump turn on. Where the Arid Bilge System, we have that in line as another safety feature with a standard bilge system on the boat, because that's a high velocity unit. This is taking it out 24/7 out of the vessel and keeping your vessel dry, where you're not getting mildew and you're getting damage to the wiring in the boat.
So Ed, this is a stabilizer, and you tell me that this gets exposed directly to the bilge water inside the inside of a boat, and the Arid Bilge System, it protects this impact.
It's quite a bit of time and money for this application here. This application is usually has stringers, 4 stringers boxed in, and the stringers end up being tall, higher than what the unit is, so it's able to trap water in here. The water's harmful for this unit, and this unit will get rusty and have failure and fault because of the water that's in there. So we use the Arid Bilge System, and we put a device in here to keep this water free at all times.
How much is this whole big component? This is just for one, right? Are there 2?
There's 2. One's on the port side, one's on the starboard side. These start at like 150,000 and they go up installed in the vessel.
And an Arid Bilge System would typically go for like $2,000 to go and just protect just this
Right.
component right over here.
Yes.
To go and have this service versus to go and like have this installed, and it's like you already have all this money invested, all this time invested, and
Right.
the super majority of the time, why it went bad is because of that bilge water.
It's bilge water, it's AC water, it could be shower water, it could be a leak in the boat from another application of the boat, and any kind of water that's on here, the Arid Bilge System, from our experience and what it's made for, is industrial use to be able to keep that area dry at all times.
So those bilge pumps, they could potentially go bad after a certain period of time. Our pickups, there's no electronic components that are being exposed to any hazardous bilge water that's just sitting down there. A
Right.
bilge pump, we are just going to go and create a vacuum. So we're not going to replace the bilge pump. We're going to coexist very well together. in this
Bilge
regard.
pump is for high volume
And for emergency.
and emergency, and then ours is continuous.
The Arid Bilge System also has a eco-friendly, which will separate the oil and the water 100%. So where the Arid Bilge System picks up from all the individual zones, comes back to the system, separates the oil and the water 100%, whatever the hydrocarbon might be, from hydraulic fluid, for example, from
Diesel fuel, antifreeze.
antifreeze. All that stuff gets separated automatically with an eco-friendly, where we have the eco-friendly, the alarm system, the standard Arid Bilge System. You only could have that with the Arid Bilge System, and these are the add-ons as well.
And it works very well when a boat engine or a transmission or an antifreeze leak is present. The client's not getting cited or arrested by Coast Guard for putting the contaminants back in the ocean or a lake where they're doing their boating. It's allowing the captain and the crew to identify that there's an engine problem or transmission or generator problem with those harsh oil, gas, diesel, antifreeze fluids in the water. Some of the applications that we've been using their product for, one of them here with the side power system, you can see all the components that are down here in the display that the Arid Bilge System keeps dry, keeps the system from getting any algae or corrosion on all the electronic components that are down here. These components don't like any of the salt water or wetness. That's what causes harm, fault, and failure of the equipment. We've been installing the Arid Bilge System in basements, in the houses up north, elevator shafts to keep them dry, mold, mildew free. We've been putting them in grow houses, aircraft, and a lot of the boat builders in the marine industry to keep the components mildew and wet and dry free. This is the new SX unit. It's been out 3 years. It's a big unit that we've been putting on ski boats in the transom of the boat. So the motor is external and then it's bolted in the back. And now we're doing it with proportional control. So it's not bang bang. You can do multiple speeds for the controller. That's a new feature. Have longer runtime. We're here working with the manufacturer of Zipwake. That's a underway stabilization trim tab setup for your boat, from center consoles all the way to luxury. They just came out with a new component that you can tie the zip wake into your electronics monitoring system on the boat. Here's the test tank, and it's showing how the system operates by having water pass through as the boat's underway. Here we are showing you how the gyro's working in the tank. When the boat trims over with the gyro, the blade comes down to deflect the water to bring the boat back up. Now we're going the other way, and then you see the boat here on the gyro on the roll scale. That's how these are operating once the boat's moving through the water. Showing you another application for the Arid Bilge system on the stabilizers in the industry, that we're trying to keep these components dry, moist, and mildew free, where we're not having any rusty components to make the systems inoperable, where they're not functionable to stabilize the boats.